everybody, I am Tiffany and today I'm doing another movie review. Now, if this isn't one of my discs that I've gotten that you've seen on the book hauls or movie hauls, I'm getting to them eventually. But you see, I work at the movie theater, and so when new movies come out, I can watch them for free. So I have to go see these movies as soon as they are in theaters because, you know, they're not there forever. And I get really sad when I miss one that I really wanted to see and it's gone and I can't watch it for free now, and it's so sad. It's devastating. This movie that I just recently watched and am reviewing for you today is one that came out very recently. It's the new M. Night Shyamalan movie that just came out. It is called Split, and it's a horror thriller. So horror is not really my style completely, so it's kind of surprising, I think, that I would go see this movie. But I'll tell you why. I felt very obligated to see this movie because back in the fall of 2015, I came out here to California for 6 weeks before actually moving out here in 2016 to start getting into auditions before I actually permanently moved out here. This movie, Split, actually ended up being one of the first auditions that I had for the main lead character in here. It was really cool to me to see this like untitled project that I had auditioned for that I knew was M. Night Shyamalan come to life and realize that that was the movie that I had auditioned for way back when. So I felt like I needed to go see this movie and see how it turned out because it's really cool. And let me tell you, it was pretty good. This movie was just, it kept me on the edge of my seat the whole entire time. And even though it is horror, it's not like gross, disgusting, gory, scary, jump-scared horror. It's like more suspenseful thriller than absolutely horror. You're trying to figure everything out. It's a thinking movie. It's very intricate, and you definitely have to pay attention throughout the entire thing, or you're gonna miss something important. And James McAvoy, he is amazing! I love him so much. I was so excited when I found out he was doing this, and oh my gosh, beautiful. James McAvoy, you got my seal of approval. Bam! For those of you who want statistics, it has a 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb right now. Now that could go up, that could go down because it just came out. But for right now, it's at a 7.6. And I totally agree with that. I feel like it should stay in the 7 range because it's really good. And the basic plot of it is it follows these group of girls who end up getting kidnapped by a guy, James McAvoy's character. He has 23 distinct different personalities. And so they're kidnapped by this guy and they're trying to figure out why, and it's hard because he keeps changing personalities. So that's the basic plot though, is them trying to escape and figure out why they're there and everything like that. For those of you who want to know the actors, it stars James McAvoy, and then also Anya Taylor-Joy. She was in Morgan recently that came out, and The Witch, so she's done a couple of horror movies and stuff, but she was really good in it. So good job, Anya Taylor-Joy. And it was fun because that was the character I tried out for, so I was like, oh my god, you're doing so good! It was awesome. And also you have Haley Lou Richardson and Jessica Sula. Those are your main ones. There's not really a whole lot more I can tell you. I definitely say go see it. I overall super enjoyed it, and I think you'll have a really fun time with this. If you're looking for a good suspenseful thriller, nothing that's going to prevent you from going to sleep at night but still kind of gets your nerves going, it's definitely a great movie for that, and I definitely recommend seeing it in theaters. It's awesome in the theaters, so go see it, go see it, go see it, and then come back and then we can discuss and have fun and talk about all the feels and stuff of it. Alright, see you later, non-spoilery people, goodbye! Oh, I loved this movie so much. It was so good. M. Night Shyamalan, I approve so much. I think everybody just did a really great job in it. James McAvoy, of course, stole that entire show because, I mean, look what he did. It's amazing how he can play Barry and then go into Dennis and then switch to Patricia, and oh, it was so cool, and Hedwig, and oh my gosh, it was so cool. And I think one thing that's really amazing is that yes, you are scared of him because you don't know what he's going to do, what personality is going to come up, what other personalities does he have, but you also kind of grow to care about certain personalities. Like, even though you're mainly dealing with the bad one, like, you still feel some sympathy for them. Like, even though you don't really get to meet Barry completely, like, it's Dennis being Barry, you like Barry. Hedwig, the little 9-year-old, you're still creeped out because it's a grown man thinking he's 9 years old, but he still kind of really liked Hedwig. Maybe it's just me, but I actually did kind of really like that little kid, even though he was a troublemaker and it actually wasn't a little kid. But I still really liked that personality, and I thought it was adorable, and it definitely provided a little bit of comic relief too. And I think the most interesting one, though, was definitely Dennis, because Dennis is creepy and disturbing, and I don't like him necessarily, but you still kind of feel sympathy. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I still felt sympathy for Dennis, like especially when he's talking to the doctor. I'm like, why am I feeling sympathy for this dude right now? I'm supposed to not like this guy. It was just really good that James McAvoy was able to make me feel like a little bit of sympathy for Dennis, even though Dennis is a horrible human being. I definitely would love to have seen more of the personalities, because there's 23 in total. And you mainly focus on kind of Barry, Dennis, Patricia, and Hedwig. And you do actually see Kevin, who's like the actual person. But you don't see all of them, and I know that it'd be probably impossible to see all of them, but I would definitely love to see more. I want to see James McAvoy go crazy and do all these different distinct personalities, please. Oh, I'd have way too much fun with that movie. I like what they did at the end with the movie diary, and you got to see a couple there. Like, that was really cool. Anya Taylor-Joy did a really great job. Her character development was really, really interesting, and figuring out about her past and seeing that her uncle did bad things to her and that's her guardian and everything. That was really unique, and it definitely had me theorizing a whole lot. I thought she'd be a little bit more involved in the whole DID thing. The two other girls, they were nice and I felt bad for them, but I did get annoyed with them. The first girl finding the vent, that was a good idea. She should not have hid in the locker. She should have just kept going. That jump scare got me, though. That was like the one jump scare in there, and I was like, ah! I jumped in my seat. Nobody was sitting next to me except for my mom, so like we both jumped together because that's her face. I don't get why you stopped and hid in the locker when you were ahead. The other girl, though, was just plain stupid. Like, if you're gonna do the chair thing, which I get why you're doing it, you gotta go BAM and make sure they are knocked out. You don't hit them, see that they're still up a little bit, and then start running. You're gonna be caught because you didn't knock them out. You want to escape? You knock him out. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. Seriously. That's all. Why did someone do that? I'm just now thinking of that. Like, you could have done that. I don't know how I felt about Dr. Fletcher. I mean, I feel like her purpose was to help explain exactly what his condition was and everything. So she was very helpful in that sense. I kind of knew she was gonna die, though. I'm like, there's no way you're gonna survive this. I'm sorry. The unleashing of the beast, however, that was plain scary. I was curling up in my seat and I was like, someone stop the beast from coming. I mean, you see from the trailers in a sense that yes, the beast is going to come out, but you're thinking on the lines of the doctor that there's only so much that the human body can do, and there's no way that this beast creature can actually be like invincible and climb walls and do all of that, because it's one person carrying all these 23 identities, and none of the other 23 identities really have that. Then you have one that can do insulin shots and the others don't have to do that. So I was on that thought with the doctor of like, there's no way though that like the beast is going to be superhuman, basically. The atmosphere for it was perfect, because once the beast is unleashed, you're already a little on edge that they're even in there in the first place, but once the beast is unleashed and it's in there, and you're following Casey, and the lights are like dim, and she's going towards the closets where the other two girls are. So first of all, this was a stupid horror choice. It ended up being okay, but I was like, that could have ended very badly. In other horror movies, you'd be dead. But she opens the first closet and sees that the one girl is eaten. So that's not a good sign in the first place. And then she opens the second door and she sees the one girl lying there, and she's still alive. She's telling Claire that they need to get out of there. Claire gets pulled into the darkness. And what does Casey do? She follows and sees where Claire went, and I'm like, something just pulled her. I'd be running in the opposite direction. That was a stupid choice. And it ended up being okay because like her confrontation is later, but it was still scary. And that chase at the very end, up until like the moment where he like pulls on the bars. But up till then, that was great. Him hitting out the lights was so scary. You just see it get darker and darker and darker, and I'm like, stop. I can't see him. I'm scared. And she just has the shotgun and I'm like, that's not gonna work because this thing is somehow invincible. And then we finally get to the very end. He's pulling the bars open. I'm freaking out a little bit. And then he sees the scars. You're having him chase her down and hit out the lights like a classic horror movie and scaring her half to death. And then he sees the scars and you're like, oh, you're pure. He just walks away. Seriously? That's how it ends? Seriously? Really? We finally get to the twist, I guess. So I was theorizing this whole entire time. I was thinking that the girl, Casey, was somehow involved in his disorder. Well, my mom's theory, mainly, was that she was like another identity or something like that, and it was all in his head or something. My theory was that she wasn't imagining this, but that she also had that disorder. And that's how the final confrontation would be, is you see that, oh my gosh, she has this disorder too. It talks about at the beginning with him that his was brought on by abuse as a child, basically. And that's how he developed all of these, because it was a defense mechanism for him. And for her, she went through abuse basically as a child. So my thought was, this is foreshadowing, she's gonna have another identity or something. And that didn't end up happening, so I was like, oh, okay, never mind. She's gonna kind of end up being okay. She has to go back to her uncle. Ooh. The twist that happened is it deals with another movie, I guess. It's at the very end, and you see Bruce Willis all of a sudden, and he goes, Mr. Glass. And then it's like, ooh. This is why I said some people will like it and some people won't. Because one, some people might not get it. Even me, it took me a second, because I actually haven't seen the movie that it was referencing. And I know that movie is Unbreakable. Also, I know about Samuel L. Jackson's character. His whole thing is that he has this disease where like his bones break very easily. So when they said Mr. Glass, I'm like, okay, so it's got to be Samuel L. Jackson's character from Unbreakable. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I'm getting from it. I don't know if like the disease that James McAvoy has is like the big twist in Unbreakable. Don't tell me, I'm going to watch it so I can actually get it. But it basically hints that that plays a part in the other one. So I'm just kind of interested to see what M. Night Shyamalan's going to do with that. He's creating this universe, kind of like what Marvel does a little bit. That's what it feels like, except, you know, not superhero stuff, but all of Marvel stuff, like even in the comics, but in the movies too, they're all interconnected. The point with M. Night Shyamalan is I feel like he's kind of doing the same thing. He's bringing two movies together that are in the same universe. He's already established that by putting Bruce Willis in there. And I feel like there's going to be a sequel, and it's gonna involve the people from Unbreakable and the people from Split. Because James McAvoy's not caught, he's still out there. I'm hoping there's a sequel, because otherwise that twist makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. People who are very into M. Night Shyamalan and have seen Unbreakable will probably absolutely be like, yes! And then others who probably haven't really watched a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies, maybe know Unbreakable kind of like I do, or maybe haven't even heard of Unbreakable, are going to be sitting there kind of like, what's the point of that? Bruce Willis? Cool. But now I'm going to go watch Unbreakable so that I can fully understand that twist. Have M. Night Shyamalan homework to do. That's really all I have to say about this movie. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. On the edge of my seat the whole entire time. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any other book or movie recommendations or any other type of video you want to see, like a tag or a Q&A or something like that, let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely check them out and do it for you. Thank you so much for watching. Go watch Split. It's so amazing. Highly recommend it. And have an awesome day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this, and don't forget to be awesome. All right. Goodbye. Whoa.